Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Iowa House. Let's make no mistake. This amendment would be the first step to politicize our courts. That would be a huge mistake for the industry of justice in this state. The stated purpose, according to media articles and news releases that I've read from members of the majority party, is to give the governor more influence in the political system, or in the judicial system. That's a huge mistake. Think back to civics. 3 independent, separate but equal branches of government. Separate but equal and independent. The governor is in charge of the executive branch. The judiciary is in charge of itself through its judges. The legislature is run by us. When I was preparing my remarks, I was thinking back to why I became a lawyer. And I remember a time when I was a teenager. I was about 16, and I came home from school, and my dad was home, and he was quite upset, probably the most upset I'd ever seen him. He's very upset because there'd been a snafu with his business. The post office didn't get something mailed out on time, and that cost a lot of money. It was a big mistake. He was furious, didn't know what to do, blamed the post office, and didn't know what to do. So he says, I'm going to call my attorney. So he calls the attorney. He's in the conversation with his attorney on the phone, and he's so upset, and he says, Todd, take the rest of this call. I need to calm down. So I'm 16 years old. I'm on the phone with this attorney I'd never met before. He was a bit rough. He used some language that as a 16-year-old I wasn't quite accustomed to. And he says, you got to tell your dad, this isn't a good situation. There's really nothing that can be done. And so I translated that to my dad, kind of worked it out with the attorney's advice, and it calmed the situation, right? Because my dad had information, he had legal counsel, he knew what was going on. And I thought that was powerful. It was really powerful. That attorney really helped. So fast forward a few years, I become attorney now, and I've been practicing for about 15 years. Spent a lot of time inside of courtrooms and around courthouses dealing with clients of all different backgrounds. Clients like my dad, small business owners, independent, self-employed people, big institutional companies like banks and businesses, people that are in trouble with the law, people that owe debts, people that need to collect on debts, people that have a grievance with the government. And the beauty of the judicial system is that no matter who you are, when you come in front of the court, you are equal. It doesn't matter who you know. It doesn't matter how rich you are. What matters is what happened and what does the law say. That's the ideal. And it's not perfect here in Iowa, I can tell you that, but it's pretty darn good. This takes us backwards. And I've got friends and family, fellow lawyers, law school friends, lawyers I've met, practice in other states, and they tell me, how's it work in Iowa? And they can't believe it. They can't believe that we don't have the politics inserted in our judge selection process. They make campaign contributions in other states to their judges when they get assigned a judge to a case. To me, I think, is that even legal? Because it wouldn't be legal in Iowa, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But here we are taking the first step to putting politics into the great equalizer, that institution that protects individual rights regardless of who you are, where you're from. And here we go. You know, we talked at length about the rule of law. And trust me, I can think of very few things that we need to protect more as elected officials in this state than to protect the rule of law in this state. This amendment is nowhere in the interest of protecting the rule of law. This amendment inserts the rule of political wins into our judicial system, ever so slightly, but ever so significantly. This is a horrible, horrible idea that is not needed and will not improve a good system. I urge a no. I will be a no.